Lesson 9. The Brand Voice and Tone Guide. Voice is the personality of your brand. Tone is how it flexes in different contexts. Most brands have neither defined. This lesson depends on your positioning statement from Lesson 2 and your sales page draft from Lesson 5, because your voice is an extension of your positioning, and your sales page is where you apply it. In this episode, we're going to define 3 to 4 specific voice attributes, set tone variations for different channels, write a never list of phrases your brand avoids, and apply that voice to your sales page. Let's build a guide that makes every piece of copy sound like you. Your brand voice is not your tagline. It is the consistent personality that runs through every piece of copy. It is defined by 3 things: what you say, how you say it, and what you refuse to say. This lesson uses your positioning statement and core narrative to define your voice. You'll define 4 voice attributes, for example, direct, confident, empathetic, clear, and you'll define tone variations for different channels and audiences. The output is a one-page guide that any writer or AI can use to produce on-brand copy. Here are the key takeaways. Voice is your brand's personality. Tone is how it flexes. Voice attributes must be specific, not generic. Direct, not professional. Your positioning statement should be the anchor of your voice. Every piece of copy should sound like it came from the same person. And a good voice guide saves hours of revisions. We'll use 2 frameworks. The first is the Voice Tone Value Framework, a framework for defining brand voice. Voice, the constant personality, 3 to 4 attributes. Tone, how the voice flexes for different channels or audiences, more casual on social, more formal on a sales page. Value, what the brand stands for, your positioning. The second is the Language to Voice Translation Framework, a framework that translates your language matrix into voice attributes. If your buyer uses short, direct sentences, your voice should be direct. If they use emotional language, your voice should be empathetic. Your messaging system is complete. You have language, positioning, a narrative, hooks, and assets. But it will still sound like multiple people wrote it unless you define your brand voice. This lesson builds a guide that anchors every piece of copy to a consistent personality. You'll define 3 to 4 voice attributes, like direct, clear, bold, human, and define how those attributes shift across channels. The output is a one-page guide that you can give to any writer or AI. The output for this lesson is your brand voice guide. It will be applied to the sales page draft from Lesson 5. Read the entire lesson. The voice attributes must be specific, not professional, but authoritative, but not arrogant. Back in Lesson 5, you drafted your sales page. Now we're going to apply your brand voice to it. Pause and grab your workbook. Step 1. Define your voice attributes. Using your positioning statement and core narrative, define 3 to 4 attributes that describe your voice. Use specific words: direct, clear, bold, human, etc. For example, direct, we say what we mean. Clear, we avoid jargon. Human, we sound like a person. Step 2. Define tone variations. For each channel, email, ad, social, sales page, define how the voice shifts. For example, social might be more casual, and a sales page might be more authoritative. For example, email, more conversational. Sales page, more authoritative. Step 3. Define the never list. List 3 to 5 things your brand never says. These are the generic phrases you avoid. Use your language matrix to guide this. For example, we never say synergy, leverage, or best in class. Step 4. Apply voice to your sales page. Take your sales page draft from Lesson 5. Rewrite it to match your voice attributes. Ensure every sentence sounds like it came from one person. For example, you are spending money on ads but have no idea who you are speaking to. Is direct and clear. Your to-do list for Lesson 9. Define 3 to 4 voice attributes, 30 minutes. Define tone variations for 3 channels, 30 minutes. Write the never list, 20 minutes. And apply voice to your sales page draft, an hour. These tasks produce your brand voice guide. This guide ensures consistency across every piece of copy you create. Let's look at MailChimp's brand voice guide. They found that their copy was inconsistent across channels. The social media voice did not match the email voice. Customers were confused. They built a comprehensive voice guide that included attributes, tone variations, and a never list. Consistency improved brand trust by 22%. Copy revisions decreased by 45%, and design team alignment increased by 36%. That's the power of a clear, documented voice. Now apply that to your own copy. Pause and answer these. Where in your current copy does the voice shift or feel inconsistent? Name a specific channel or page. Then, apply your voice guide to that page. Rewrite it to match your attributes. Finally, if your brand trust improved by 22%, what would that mean for your conversion rates? Name one metric you would measure. Here are the pitfalls to avoid. The most common way to surface complete this lesson is to define voice attributes that are too vague. Professional and trustworthy are useless. They apply to everyone. Real completion is when you can read any piece of copy and instantly know if it is on brand. Your voice guide is a living document. It will evolve as your brand and market shift. Avoid the trap of defining a voice that does not match your buyer's language. Your voice should mirror your buyer's voice. The difference between a brand with a voice guide and one without is that the first produces consistent copy. The second produces copy that sounds like multiple people wrote it. Open your workbook to the Lesson 9 worksheet, the Brand Voice Guide. Pause here. In the Voice Attributes section, define 3 to 4 specific voice attributes like direct, human, clear. In the Tone Variations section, define tone for email, ads, and sales pages. How does the voice flex? In the Never List section, list 5 phrases your brand never says. Use your matrix to avoid generic jargon. Your brand voice guide ensures consistency across your messaging system. It is the final layer of alignment. Use the progress tracker. Check voice attributes defined when 3 to 4 specific attributes are documented. Check tone variations defined when 3 channel variations are documented. Check never list written when 5 specific phrases are listed. And check sales page rewritten when your Lesson 5 draft is revised for voice. Once all are checked, you're ready for Lesson 10. And check sales page rewritten once it's on paper. Use the calculator to measure the depth of your voice guide. Rate attribute specificity from 1 to 5. Aim for 4 or higher. Count your channel variations. Aim for 3 or more. Count your never list size. Aim for 5 or more. If you're below any benchmark, revisit your voice guide. Here's your exercise. Take a piece of copy from your new voice guide and a piece of copy from your old marketing. Strip the logos. Have someone who does not know your brand read both and ask which one sounds like it came from the same brand as your website. If they cannot tell, your voice is consistent. Pause and do this now. Reflect on this. Think of a piece of copy you have written that does not sound like your brand voice. Why did you write it that way? What would it sound like if you rewrote it to match your voice guide? For deeper research, read The Brand Gap by Marty Neumeier for a chapter on voice and personality. Then analyze 3 brands you admire for their voice consistency across channels. Your action for this week. Audit your website copy against your new voice guide. Underline every sentence that does not fit. Rewrite those sentences. Next time, we take this complete messaging system and build a testing and iteration process to keep it alive over time.